Hey, you guys, Adrienne Dione here, aka the Funda Mentor. I want to welcome you to this masterclass all about growing your business with email marketing. Before I go on, number one, I just want to say how excited I am to share this information with you. I've talked to a lot of you guys, kind of been polling you guys, and you all are saying, like, yes, 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 I definitely want to know more about email marketing and how I can implement it in my business. So I'm excited to share this information with you because email marketing has just really grown my business over the past few months a lot. And I just can't wait to share this information with you. But before we do that, I do want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this masterclass and also choosing me to partner with you as you grow your business. I do not take that lightly. And with that being said, because some of you who may be watching this may not know a lot about me, so I do want to take this time to just kind of share a little bit about myself really, really quickly. My name is Adrienne Dione. I'm a business coach and I really help service-based business owners really learn the fundamentals of running a business. A lot of us are new to this. This is our first time, doing entrepreneurship full time or part time, and so we know what we're doing on the service part of it, or we know how to create the products and do that. But running a business is a whole different animal, and so for those who may be struggling with that and really just kind of feeling stagnant and want to know how to grow their business more, I come in and I help them in my one-on-one coaching program and really help them just to go from stagnant to just having a scalable business that is consistently reaching their financial goals. So that is what I do by trade. It started in 2017. So almost 5 years ago, or 5 years ago, but I've been full time doing this full time for 3 years, and it has been the best decision ever. I'm also a public speaker and a podcast host. Shout out to the Gold Mine podcast. So that is really a little bit about who I am. And just to tell you kind of my journey with email marketing, at the beginning of this year, I really wanted to, I guess, kind of develop my marketing skills. I really knew that I had a good offer. I knew I was really good at helping other small business owners, but most of my clients were kind of mostly referrals. And so I was just kind of like, how can I don't want to just rely on referrals. I really feel like my marketing needs some help. And so I hired a marketing coach. Her name is Dominique, and she was great, right? And one of the first things that she had us to do was create a lead magnet. And so that was something that was new that I had never implemented into my business. And so once I had the lead magnet, we were kind of pulling in all of these people, and it was great because these were people who were interested in my services. I was able to, connect with them and convert them, but I was just collecting a lot of emails. And with all the emails, I'm like, okay, I have these emails, but what am I supposed to do with them? And I think that a lot of you guys are in that same boat. Like with me, you can relate to that. Like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to capture emails, but what do I do with them? And to be honest, when I first started out, and learning, a little bit about the whole marketing thing, she was having us, send out emails and do all of that. But I was literally not getting a return on investment in the way that I felt like everybody else. I was out here hearing people saying like, yeah, 5-figure email campaigns. And I'm like, I want in on that. And so I really took time to just learn about email marketing. And what I'm really proud of myself for is with the research, search, and the studying and learning more and more about it, I've been able to implement a back-end marketing strategy that generates about 30% of my income, which is great, consistently with email marketing alone. And so not only have I been able to, help myself and my business, I've also been able to help my clients with their email marketing strategy, and they've been getting a lot of great results too. And so that's kind of how it is. When I elevate, right? I elevate all of the people who are connected with me so my clients get in on it and you get in on it today too. So I want to let you know what you're in for, so you can kind of get ready to learn, number one, why you should be using email marketing. Number two, I'm going to teach you an easy blueprint to follow for creating your email strategy. The third thing is I'm going to help you learn how to analyze your email metrics. A lot of times we see all those numbers about our emails, but it's like, okay, what do I do with this? What's good? What's bad? I'm going to go over all of that today. The fourth thing I'm going to do is talk about three types of emails and when to use each one. And then we're going to go over some best practices and tips on building your email list. So as you can see here, we have a lot to cover. So I'm going to jump right into it. So let's talk about why you should be using email marketing. I think email marketing is something that is often overlooked because everybody is kind of focused on social media marketing right now. And it's kind of like, yeah, I know about email marketing, but it really doesn't give me the results. So I don't really focus on it. And I think that we are really missing out on all of the benefits of email marketing. So I just want to quickly go over number one, it's the most cost effective sales channel out here in the game. Okay. When I'm bringing in 5 figures in my email from my email marketing campaigns that I have created over the past few months, listen, I'm only paying $40 for email, my email platform. And so you can see right there that I'm paying such a little amount, but I'm getting such a high return on investment. And so you need to know that email marketing is something that is super cheap for you to market your business, your services once you have someone's email address. So the number one benefit I think is that it's just really a cost-effective sales channel. The second benefit is that people who have an email account are highly engaged. 99% of people who have an email account check their email anywhere from 1 to 20 times a day. So right there in itself, this is a great way or channel to use where people are highly engaged on it. Like, for example, have you guys ever been in like a Facebook group or you've downloaded an app or a community where it's kind of like, I'm in here, but nobody really talks, nobody's engaged? Like, yeah, it's like, what's the point of being in here, right? But not with email marketing. Its users are highly engaged, which makes it even better for you because it increases your chances of being able to market and to get people to read and look at what you are posting or sending rather. The third benefit is that you can create meaningful relationships with customers through your email marketing. And I think that any platform that allows you to create relationships with potential buyers or potential customers is something that you cannot sleep on. And email marketing definitely does that. The fourth benefit is that it allows you to make passive income. Y'all, literally, I make money in my sleep because of my email campaigns. Anytime you can make money passively, it's the way to go. Okay. You can set up your automations and just, every now and then do maintenance on them. But otherwise, once you set it up, it's good to go. And you can just continue to keep making money without putting in more effort and more energy into it. So that is great. And then the last thing, I put 4 up here twice. It should be 5. The fifth reason is that it offers a direct path of communication with your customers. Forget the social media platform algorithm. Okay. Instagram has been Instagramming this week. Do you hear me? Okay. You do not have to rely on a third party in order to market to your people. One of the most frustrating things about, the social media platforms is that, hey, I mean, at the end of the day, if they shut down or they're glitching for the day, all of the content that you created and spent so much time on, people may not get to consume that information. You may be losing money because of something that is completely out of your control. But with email marketing, that is not the case. You have a direct path to communication with your customer more times than not. Most people have their emails, they get their emails on their phone. So it's something that is highly accessible and you're getting right into their day. Like you're inserting yourself into to their day. So if you are not convinced already, you should be that email marketing is the way to go, and you should be implementing this into your business ASAP. Okay, so let's talk strategy. When it comes to email marketing, I knew that I needed something very, very simple, something that was repeatable, something that was not too complicated, or I was not going to stick with it. And I know that most people are like this. And so, one of the things that I like to go by is what I call the 3W strategy. Have you guys ever heard of like the who, what, when, where, why type of thing? Yeah, it's kind of a play off of that. But instead it's the why, who, and what. So the three things, the three W's that you need to focus on when creating your email strategy is number one, why? Why are you sending the emails? Who are you sending emails to? And then the what? What are you sending in your emails? These things are so important for conversion and should be all, figured out before you click that send button. So I'm going to go into each one and explain it a little bit more because I know it sounds very simple, but there's context around it. But I definitely want you to remember in your email strategy when you're creating whatever campaign or whatever email that you are, the why, the who, and the what. So let's look at why you are sending emails. So when you get ready to start out your emails, you need to have a clear why behind it. And I know we hear that all the time. It sounds kind of cheesy, but it is so true because depending on your reason, you're going to include certain things in that email. And it's important too because people get emails from so many people, and you want to make sure that you are not wasting their time or wasting space in their inbox. And I think that when people start to put you in that category, like you're just sending random stuff, they'll put you in that category. And whether you are sending really good stuff, in the future, because they place you in their box that you kind of like, you send like whack stuff or stuff that's just not engaging or anything that's useful to them, they won't open it or they will unsubscribe. And so you want to make sure that you know your why, so you're intentional with the things that you're sending them, so that you can respect them and they can also respect you. So here are a few questions to ask about like the specific kind of email that you're sending. For example, if you are trying to engage a current customer, you would want to include relevant and valuable content that is engaging for them. So, for example, you can send out weekly newsletters for your current customers that give them more tips on things that they're interested in. Any new content that you are creating and you want to send to them, this will be really good. Anything that can just continue to engage them as they're on their journey, or things that would be helpful for them, you will include that in those emails. Another question is, am I trying to build trust with a customer or a potential customer? If you are, then you definitely want to include things like your mission, any testimonials. You want to be very transparent with the things that you're sending. So, for example, let's just say one of my clients, she has a product-based business, and one of the things that we implemented was an abandoned cart flow for people who may have, looked around, put stuff in their cart, but then they didn't go through with it. This was a great time to build trust with that customer. And so instead of just saying, hey, you forgot something, we included things in the email that just said, hey, like, oh, I saw you were looking for this. here are what some other customers who bought this had to say about it, and show testimonials, which it actually built trust with them and would really increase their chances of going ahead and purchasing that order. So different things like that, abandoned carts, any of the things that would just kind of build trust. Sometimes you could include pictures of you kind of packaging the item, or a little bit more personal things, kind of your story, anything that would build the trust to get the customer to just trust you more as the expert and trust your company, would be great to include in this type of email. Another question is, am I trying to get a customer to convert, right? If you are, then you want to make sure that you are including a clear call to action and urgency around it. And I say urgency because if you give somebody 3 years to buy something, then they're probably going to take 3 years to buy it. But if you're really trying to get them to convert, if you put urgency behind it and say, hey, this offer is only available for 24 hours, or I only have 2 or 3 items left. You don't have to lie. I'm not saying be salesy or do any of that, but you want to just create some urgency behind it. Those are things that are important when you're trying to get your customers to convert, and a very clear call to action. And I just wanted to reiterate the clear call to action, because a lot of times I see you guys like send emails, or even with your posts, you're like, yeah, we're having a sale. Okay, cool. Do you want me to buy something? Do you want me to purchase something? Do you want me to, like, what is it that you want me to do about your sale? Or, you make sure that you have a clear call to action and steps for them to take. Okay. And then, am I trying to get something from the customer? So if you are trying to get something from them, you want to include clear directions and a clear ask. I think sometimes, and I'll show this later in some examples that I have, I think that sometimes it's like, well, obviously I'm sending them this because I want them to buy, but you never asked for the buy. Us, human nature, just like if we're told to do something, we follow directions. And if you don't ask us to do something or tell us to do something, most of the time we're not, right? So you just want to make sure that you understand why you are sending the emails, because this will help you to know exactly what you should be putting inside of the email. So let's talk about who you are sending the emails to. Now, this sounds simple, but I don't want you to think it's just like, yeah, I'm sending to my email list, right? This is something that I was doing so wrong. And I think that a lot of people are doing it wrong. The goal here is to send the right people the right emails. And what I was doing was, I had this big email list, and I had people, they were all people who had businesses, right? And I felt like, yeah, they need help in business, or they want, some help in certain areas. So all of these people are my people. I'm just going to send out general emails, and if they're interested in this specific thing, then cool, they'll click on it and all will be well with the world, right? But that is not the case. You have to realize that everyone on your email list is at different places in their journey, or even in different places in your sales funnel, right? So somebody may be a little warmer than other people who just got on your email list, and when they see your direct ask, or you trying to sell them something, it kind of pushes them away, instead of someone else who may have been on your email list for a year now, and they're like, oh yeah, this offer is for me, I'm ready to buy. And so you really have to take that into consideration. The key to this is actually segmentation and personalization. Segmentation is where you break down your large email list into small groups of people that meet certain criteria, and then send them curated content based on their interests. And then personalization is sending relevant content and making the customer feel special. So the more someone feels like they have a personal relationship with you or your business, the longer they're going to stay on your list, and the stronger that relationship will be. And so when when I really started to use segmentation on my email list, everything changed. Okay. The engagement from my emails went up a lot, and then the conversions really, really increased. And I knew that this was the magic piece. The other important thing about making sure that you segment your list is that email providers like Google and Outlook, which most people use, they are going to dock you if people aren't clicking and opening your emails. So what will happen, because you're sending a bunch of emails, but they're not engaging, they're not opening, they're not clicking on them, they start to send your emails to the spam folder. And we do not want our emails to go to the spam folder. So it's very, very important that you start to use segmentation in your email list so that this doesn't happen and people are just missing your whole email. Okay. So I wanted to give some examples of some of the segmentations. I think the first one, let's see. The first one is my personal segmentation. I have one for service based and a product based. I'm trying to do both just because you guys may be having like different businesses models. And so for this segmentation, one of the things that I segmented, I have a list of people who are engaged, who have engaged in the past 60 days. And when I say engaged, the criteria for that is that they've clicked or they've opened an email in the past 60 days. Another segmentation that I have is that they are unengaged for 1 year. So the criteria is that I've sent at least 10 emails to these people and they have not clicked or opened an email within the last year. People on this list, I'm going to remove them from my list. There is no reason that you should have 1,000 unengaged people on your list just to say you have 1,000 people on your email list. If they are not opening, if they are not clicking, your stuff is probably being sent to spam anyway. And email platforms charge you based on the number of people on your list. And so you don't want people to be on your list that are just not engaged and are wasting time, and you're actually paying for that. So for example, what I mean by that, I use MailChimp, and MailChimp, I think they have a free version for like 500 people on the list. After that, you go up a list, and I think it's maybe like 1,000 people, right? Well, if I go over that, or if I'm sending out emails to everybody on my list, I only have a certain amount that I can send every month anyway. And if I'm sending them to people who aren't opening them, it's just a waste of my time, my money, and you could do a lot better. So just remove those people from your list. And then the other segmentation that I have is my VIP list. So these are people who have purchased one of my services or products within the past 3 months. And I do have some products, so I have I have it different for my services and my products. So if they purchased in the last 3 months, these are people who have already invested in my business, and they will probably most likely invest again because they liked my products, they like my services, and they will be open to purchasing again. And so these are people that are warm. These are people that, remember we talked about personalization. I'm going to send them exclusive stuff. I'm going to send them discounts. I'm going to let them know about the new drops before everybody else. I'm going to let them know, I'm going to really treat them like a VIP. So because they're getting all of this from me and they're getting this type of attention and love, that's what I meant by they'll stay on your list longer and the relationship will grow stronger because of it. So here's an example of a product-based segmentation. This is for one of my clients, Sugar Coochies, which is a service-based business that does sugar waxing. They also have products, and so this is for the product portion of their business. And so one of the segmentations we have is the same engaged 60 days, where they've clicked or opened an email. But then one of the things that I implemented is retargeting. So if they purchase in the last 60 to 90 days, we want to retarget them. And so they get a different type of email sequence or email funnel because normally her products will last in this amount of time. And so if they purchase within the last 60 to 90 days, then we need to be sending them an email about repurchasing. If, hey, your whatever oil is getting low, it's time to repurchase, right? So it's this type of stuff, right? If I sent this to a whole general list, if I've never purchased anything from you, I'm like, why am I getting this email? Or this isn't relevant to me. Or it may spark a little, interest, but if I'm not interested in their products or whatever the case may be, then your emails just come off salesy to me, right? And so I wouldn't send this out to the whole entire list. And this is something that I was doing before wrong. And so a lot of you may be doing the same thing. Another segmentation is the VIP list, where if the purchase is over $300 in the past 3 months, you want to give them exclusive content, exclusive discounts, exclusive, news on when a new drop is happening, just different things like that. And so those are kind of two examples of how I use segmentations for breaking down that larger list. And I highly suggest that you do the same thing. All right, now let's talk about what are you sending in your email. I saw this picture and I literally laughed out loud because this is literally how I used to be trying to come up with what am I writing in this email? I don't know what I need to be saying. And so I kind of want to give you a gold standard for what you should be having in your emails. So this is an example from that same company that we worked on her emails, because before working with me she wasn't using email marketing. And so I'm going to go through broken down the parts of the email. So number one, a strong subject line and preview line. This is so important. I'm going to tell you why a little bit later in this presentation, but it is very, 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 very important. You want to have something that's enticing for them to open. And I will say, as far as the preview line, I noticed that a lot of you guys are not using the preview line. And when I say you guys, I mean like small business owners, people that I purchased certain thing and I know that they are a small business owner. They don't really use the preview line. But the preview line is so good because it really puts that extra push behind the person to open the email. So here you see, yes, body oil. So this is really her target audience. Really, this is something that they would say. You see, yes, that kind of thing. That's how they talk. And so she used that in the subject line. And then in the preview line, it says code sugar for 50% off through 9/11. But obviously the person knows inside this email is a coupon code that I can use. So it will entice them or let them know what's on the inside, and it will really kind of get them to say, okay, let me open this. Let me see what this is about. Another thing to have on your email is an image and GIF. I don't know if it's GIF or GIF. But if you are going to use images or GIFs, make sure that you don't have all the info on the image. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes the images may not load, right? So if they don't load, the person is going to be looking at this blank email like, what is this, right? So if you notice, she has a picture of the product, but she also has the information below the image to let them know whatever it is that they need to know. Number three is a compelling copy that communicates the why. So what is the reason behind this email? Here she explained what the product is used for, and she let them know like, hey, you can get, a coupon, you can get 15% off through a certain date, and then a call to action. So many people don't use call to actions. I know this is my second time saying this, but you guys use a call to action and make sure that it lets them know what they need to do in order to get whatever it is that you just talked about. And then the fifth thing is email compliance. Email compliance is really important because if you do not have this in your emails, you're going to get docked and sent to spam folder. So we talked about that a little earlier. This is one of the quickest ways because when your email goes to somebody's inbox, the receiving platform is actually going through it to make sure, like, to categorize it. Is this promotion? Is this, spam? And if it doesn't have certain things like the email compliance, the unsubscribe option, then it's going to send it to spam. So make sure that you have this. This is really good for product based. And so I also wanted to show something. This is my service based business. Now that I think about it, this is also product, but you could really use this for any course or service or whatever the case may be. This is actually one of my emails. So the subject line is, "Sis, you absolutely need this." The preview line, when it comes to creating content, this is the game changer. So obviously they know when they open this, this is something that is going to change the game for creating content, right? This is enticing for someone to open. Once they open it, I have the stuff that I need you to know. I've included a GIF that's something relevant or my target audience would think is funny. In relation to the copy that I have, it's compelling copy. It communicates why they need to do what I asked them in the button. Purchase your planner. Put the picture there just to show you I did include other pictures. And then I do have my email compliance items at the end. So this is a gold standard. But I also wanted to show you some other examples of emails that I do like. So this first one, this is from Justice. It's really cute. It says, this is an abandoned cart email. So it says, "Thanks for visiting our site. Where'd you go?" And the preview line is, still thinking it over. I can't even read this. It says, "Still thinking it over. Grab these items soon." And so inside the email, when you open it up, it says, "From checking it out to trying it out." They've included the pictures. So you see the email subject line is here. It's the preview line is being used. Compelling copy about the why. They've included pictures and a call to action right here. Keep shopping. So that the person can go ahead and buy whatever it is. I also wanted to include one that doesn't actually have a picture. It really is about your brand and what correlates with your audience. April Beverly, I don't know if y'all follow her on social media, but she is thebomb.com. She's like a copywriter, and she doesn't use pictures in her emails. It comes off a lot more personable, and sometimes I don't use images in my email. So you don't have to. It's a gold standard, but it's really based on your brand, okay? And so here she says in the email subject line, "I forgot to mention," right? Claim your free in her preview. So something in here is free. And if it's from April Beverly, I definitely want it, right? So I'm going to open the email. And she says, "Hey, I forgot to mention this yesterday, just in case you haven't had a chance to schedule your free content strategy session or explore our product lounge of writing services. I figured this could shed some light on the type of magic my team creates." So this is probably a testimonial email. I'm pretty sure I'm in her flow. I think I downloaded one of her freebies. And I love studying other people's emails and seeing what they use and how they use it. So like I love this sequence, right? And so this is service based for those of you who needed that type of example. And you can see that she has a compelling copy. She has a call to action. So she's not actually using a button here. but it's clear what you need to do, right? You, in order to claim your free content strategy session, it's highlighted in blue. I know that I need to click this, right? So her call to actions there, and also she has her email compliance at the bottom where it says unsubscribe. A lot of times, just look at the bigger companies and how they are, what they're doing in their emails, and that's how I learned. That's literally how I learned, the kind of like the template for it. Once you have a good template, maybe it's just plug in and play. All right. So let's talk about how to analyze your email metrics. This is the secret sauce to having success in email marketing, y'all. So have you ever looked at your emails after you send it out and you see like 38% click rate and open rate is 56%. You're like, okay, cool. What's good? What's bad? How do I know, like, what does any of this stuff mean? I'm telling you, I had no idea. And I was like, I wish somebody could just show me this stuff, right? Well, I'm here to show you today. This is really great for figuring out the health of your email marketing strategy. So snapshot this, make sure that you have this so that you can really look and see how well your emails are performing, so that you know exactly what it is you need to do and correct to get better results. Okay. So, open rate, click rate, unsubscribe, and spam rate are the big things that you need to look at on your emails. And your email platform should be providing this information to you with every single email that you put out. If not, you need to ditch them and go to another email platform. But this is a part of what you're paying for. So the biggest ones to look at are your open rate and your click rate. So if your open rate is greater than 25%, this is really good. If it's less than 10%, then this is a sign that something is really wrong and you need to figure out, how to make it better. Things that affect your open rate are your subject line and your preview. So if you're not getting the percentage that you want, you definitely need to work on your subject line and your preview line. Make sure that it's enticing and that people actually, it's interesting enough for somebody to say, "Oh, let me see what this is," right? So that is kind of like your scale for that. Next is the click rate. Anything above 2.5 to 5% is really good. If it's less than 1%, then something is wrong. And the thing that affects your click rate is your offer. So you want to make sure that you have a compelling offer, something that is like a no-brainer to the person that you are sending it to. Perhaps if your click rate is not high, then maybe you are sending the wrong emails to the wrong people, right? So you want to make sure that you have a compelling offer, that is something that they want. Also, the colors and the look of your button also play a part in this a little bit. So if it's not clear of where they should be clicking to get whatever offer it is, that may be a thing. So make sure it's very obvious and you're using the right colors. The next thing is the unsubscribe rate. So listen, we have to realize that some people are just going to unsubscribe. That does not mean that you're sending too many emails. Not necessarily. It doesn't mean that your emails are bad. Some people just might not want your stuff, and that's okay. We want them to go. If your unsubscribe rate is less than 2.2%, that's great. If it's more than 0.7%, then there may be something wrong. And so, again, asking that question, am I sending the right emails to the right people? Also, segmenting your list. If you're not doing this, definitely segment your list. And you may need to segment it even smaller if this percentage is really high. Another thing that you could do is, have you ever seen where you go to unsubscribe? A lot of the bigger companies do this. You go to unsubscribe and they ask, oh, would you like to just receive less emails instead of unsubscribing altogether? Maybe get one email a week instead of three. So that may be something that you want to include if that sounds interesting to you. See if your email platform offers this type of feature. And if not, if this is something that's important to you, then maybe finding an email platform that does offer this would work better for you. And then your spam rate, less than 0.05 is good. Greater than 0.15, there's something really wrong. Things that really affect your spam rate is making sure that you have engaging content that people are going to click and open. Remember, email platforms will send it to spam if it's not. You want to make sure that you're not sending too many emails, and then making sure that you have that email compliance, the unsubscribe option in every one of your emails. All of these things play into the health of your email marketing. You should be testing these a lot, and playing around with different things to get your numbers higher. Obviously, when your email list grows, sometimes your numbers will decrease, and again, you may need to segment. So the number or how big your email list will also play a part into your percentages. So let's talk about the type of emails. There are three main types of emails. Flows. Flows are automated. Flows are triggered by a certain action that the customer takes, and it contains multiple steps. So it can have anywhere from 1 email to 20 emails. So, for example, I talked earlier about the abandoned cart flow that we put in my customers' email campaign or email marketing strategy. That would be a flow. Another example is kind of like I use lead magnets to kind of build my list. And so I have a funnel that's out for each one of my lead magnets. So they'll go through kind of like what I talked about with April Beverly. That is a flow. It's automated. Once I download the freebie, then it triggers me into that funnel, or the person into that funnel. And that is one type of email. Another email is a campaign. Campaigns are manual, so they are one-time emails sent to a predetermined list or segment. So, for example, your monthly newsletter, you may send it out to your whole list, a certain segment, but it's something that you do manually and you create. Even if you batch them, but you're doing it manually, that's still a campaign. And then transactional emails. Transactional emails are automated. Basically, they're operational in nature. So whenever, like if you use Shopify and it has like your purchase confirmation or the email that's sent out with your shipping update, or hey, here's how to create a new account, like those operational behind the scenes, like that kind of thing, those are transactional emails that are normally automated with whatever program that you're using. So those are very, very important to have set up. So if you don't, definitely have them, especially if you're using like Shopify or any other services where someone's purchasing. You want to make sure that you're sending them a thank you email, confirmation, or whatever the case may be. The 3 flows that you need before launching, and this is a product, any type of new service or anything like that. If it's a product, you definitely want to have an abandoned cart flow. Like this is huge. And a good one that converts. Okay. You definitely want to have a newsletter flow in place where you're sending at least 1 email a week to your list, keep them engaged, and then a post-purchase flow. So once someone purchases something from you, you should have a flow that is engaging, that retargets, that type of thing. You definitely want to have them. It's a great opportunity to say thanks. It's also a great opportunity to upsell or cross sell. So, for example, if someone gets a goal getter session, they purchase a goal getter session, right afterwards, maybe I send an email where I'm saying like, "Oh, thank you so much for purchasing your goal getter session." A lot of people also purchase this session, who purchases this session also purchases a content planner. And just to show my appreciation, I'm going to offer you 50% off a content planner. This is really good because once somebody buys something, their mind is already primed to spend money, and so you can easily upsell to them if you have that flow already in place. So, yeah, those are the main flows. The abandoned cart, those people are the warmest people. Um, and you just want to make sure you have something already set in place for them. And also, maybe they're not second guessing, but maybe they just got distracted and they forgot about it. That's just the world we live in. And so you definitely don't want to, lose money because of that. All right, you guys, we're getting to the end. I want to talk about some best practices and building your list. I'm really excited. I hope that you guys are getting a lot of value out of this and you're learning a lot. If you have questions about anything, listen, send me an email. I want to be able to help you. I know we weren't able to do this live. And so if you have questions, I definitely want to be able to help you. So send me your questions. Let's talk about best practices. So best practices, I said this earlier, but number one, make sure you are sending at least one campaign a week minimum to your list, to your people. As business owners, we do a lot of content creation. Everybody may not be following you. Everybody may not even see the things that you posted. So email marketing is a great way to send people your content and share all of your content, or let them know the latest news or the latest drops or whatever. You always have something to share. So definitely send at least one campaign a week. Another thing is, the best thing that I've seen, the best formula for conversion through email marketing is having a great offer, coupling that with urgency, and then also offering a discount. You don't always have to offer a discount, but those three things together will 80% of the time get you a sale. So if you do that, that's kind of like my favorite formula. Another thing is, be aware of how your emails look on mobile devices. If your email platform doesn't show you both desktop and mobile, then you definitely want to get a different email platform, because most people are checking their emails on their phone, and if it's all crazy looking, nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's gonna read it. They're just gonna keep moving. So you want to make sure that you have a mobile friendly email it looks good. Um, that's like a big one. The other thing, keep it simple, you guys. Don't spend too much time overthinking your emails. Most of you are creating content already. You can repurpose the content and send an email, okay? You're already using your call to actions on social media and all of that. Use your email. Don't overthink it. Another thing is to clean your list often. Remember, those people that are unengaged or the emails that bounce, take them off your list. They're literally wasting space, and we don't have time for that. We want people who are highly engaged, who want what we have to offer. And we just want to make sure that we're filling up our list with those who aren't a great match. Then they have to go. So clean up your list often. I do this quarterly, if not more. Okay. Another thing is, use A/B testing for your subject lines and your content. Play around, do some testing. Don't test your email, like your subject line and your content at the same time. Just try one thing at a time. But that's the only way that you're going to see what works. See where your audience really resonates with the most. Do use A/B testing so that you get the most out of it. And a lot of times when you set up your flows and your funnels, once you set it up, once you're in a good spot, you don't even have to change it for a long, long time. So do the testing that you need to get it like really, really good, and then you can leave it alone. Another thing is, don't be afraid to send too many emails. Most of the time, we're like, oh, I sent one email, I'm not gonna send one for another month. Your people want to hear from you. As long as you are sending valuable information, people they're gonna open it, they're gonna read it, they're gonna consume, they're gonna engage. So don't be afraid of sending too many emails. You're probably not sending enough. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but reuse your content. People won't remember if you send that same email in April, okay? Plus, you're going to be adding new people to your email list all the time. So, your best campaigns, the ones that perform the best, resend them out, okay? Reuse them, tweak them a little bit, reuse them, reuse your content. I'm all about repurposing. Another thing, I said this earlier, but as your list grows, your click rates may go down. This may be a sign to segment your list. But yeah, don't freak out. Just know the things that I told you that affect your click rates and make sure you are segmenting your list. For some of you, I get questions all the time about platform suggestions. I personally use MailChimp, but I will be going to Klaviyo really soon. So Klaviyo is another one. ConvertKit is one that a lot of people use. I hear good things about. But there are just so many email platforms. Don't be afraid to just play around with them. Use the free trials. Check out their templates. See how easy it is to create an email. Check out how their back end works so that you find the best email platform that works for you guys. Just because MailChimp is okay for me, it may be frustrating for you and you want something that you're going to use. So just play around with it until you find something that you like the best. I just want to quickly talk about list building tips and then we're going to be done. I think when it comes to building your list, lead magnets are the way to go. Okay. You just need them. They're easy. They're easy. They're easy. Some of the things that I always tell my clients, having a website opt-in is really good with an incentive is if it makes sense for your business. If nobody's really going to your to your website, that might not be the best way to build your list. If you have join my newsletter in the corner somewhere, that might not be the best way to build your list. You want to include some type of incentive. It could be a discount. It could be whatever the case may be. Make it make sense for your business, but you want something that has high traffic. Use something that uses like it's going to be high traffic. A lot of people don't go to my website, honestly. If they do, they're going there quickly to check it out, but most of the time they're clicking to book with me. They're finding me on social media, and so I have to have something on those in those spaces to get them to build to opt into my email list. Some of you guys may want to use a pay ad or Facebook ads or something like that. You can definitely use this to build your list. Have your Facebook ad go to a freebie or lead magnet, some type of checklist, some type of ebook that would quickly build your email list. Those types of things are really good. Plus, I feel like with Facebook ads, it's just best to sell like some type of freebie, a webinar or something, because cold sales really don't do well. That's just information you didn't ask for, but that's my tea on it. If you want to try organic marketing, you can have like lead to your lead magnet or your freebie. I do that with my content marketing. I talk about it in my lives. I have it in my Facebook group. So that's kind of organic marketing. Like, hey, this is something you need, something that's, interesting to your target audience. Great way to build your list. Some people use quizzes. I'm thinking about using this. And it's kind of like, hey, take this quiz. I'm going to send the results in your email. It's still a lead magnet. That's an interesting way if it makes sense for your business. And then giveaways is another one that a lot of people try. I should say be careful of freeloaders because a lot of times people just do it to get the free stuff. And if they don't, they're not like highly engaged. So just be mindful of that. That is it, you guys. If you have questions, email me. Email me. My email is right there. Let me know, and what I'll do is I will do a Q&A on the questions that I have that I get. I'll also reply to you. So don't think I'm not going to reply to you, but I'll do I'll reply to you. But what I found is that when most people have a question, it not only helps that person, but it also helps other people. So I'll just do a big Q&A for everyone on the questions that I get from this email masterclass. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me to the end. And if you guys are interested in getting some help creating an email strategy for your business, I think the best thing to do will probably, if you're not looking for one-on-one coaching, is to schedule, book a goal getter session. That's where we are one-on-one for 90 minutes, and we can literally build out a email strategy for you. I can let you know the gaps where you need to put stuff and really go over some topics and different things that you can use to build your list, as well as get better engagement and conversion. All right, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you guys later.